Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tara for those of you who don't know me, and this is my fourth video on YouTube, and that is very exciting for me. I actually filmed this video already, and similar to what happened with my first video, the sound did record, but my mic picked up some weird static that I didn't realize, and I wanted to refilm it because I didn't want to have to go in and take out that background noise. So I'm kind of annoyed about it, but it is what it is, and I'm filming in a different location than I originally filmed because there's a weird light glare on the back of the wall over there where my chair is that I filmed my first video. And I actually just realized I did not check the sound to make sure it was working even though there's no mic attached, so I'm gonna stop this recording and check it, and then I will be back. And I'm back. It was working, so yay. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about my struggles with depression, specifically me being as high functioning as I am. That comes with a lot of challenges on its own, separate from what someone who isn't functioning has. Of course, definitely someone who isn't functioning very well with their depression, I would say, has it worse, and I hope that anyone going through that right now can get the help that they need, because this is a manageable illness. But I will say, if you do function well, you should still seek help if you don't already have the help. So for me, anytime I've told someone that I have depression or anxiety, people will often say, "Oh, I had no idea," or "But you seem so happy, you have so much in your life." And yeah, that's true. I do seem happy, and I am happy for the most part, and I have a wonderful life. I love my family, I love my husband, my daughter just... But that doesn't change the fact that there's a chemical imbalance in my brain. The thing people don't realize is that mental illness doesn't discriminate. It doesn't just pick the people who seem to have a crappy life. It just picks people at random. Some people are predisposed to it, some people suffer traumas, and there's no way to know who has it. Unfortunately, we all have this unconscious bias that tells us that a depressed person is someone laying in bed and can't get out of bed. They have messy hair, they're not eating properly, they're drinking a lot. And that's just not the case. For me, because I was so high functioning for so long, I never admitted to myself that I needed help. And when I would sort of have those moments where I thought, I think I need some help, I would think, well, no, other people have it worse than me. I can get through this. I'm just being sensitive. I'm just being crazy. And I would just keep going. And the problem with people doing this is it will get worse. And you will get to a point where you're not functioning anymore. And I think it's important for us to know that if you're still high functioning, you should still get the help because you want to stay that way at least and feel better. But at the very least, you want maintenance, basically. You want to put maintenance on yourself to keep yourself as functioning as possible, to keep yourself from that downward spiral. You'll notice in the news a lot of times when a teenager or a parent or someone dies by suicide, everyone in their life will say, "I had no idea they were struggling. I had no idea they seemed like they had it all together." And that's the problem. These illnesses go unnoticed for so long, and these people don't feel that they can reach out for help until the weight of the depression becomes too heavy that they can't take it anymore. And unfortunately, when they don't get the help that they need, suicide is a possibility with this illness. And another thing I just want to add, we need to stop saying committed suicide, because it's not a crime, it's a symptom. It's an unfortunately deadly symptom of this illness. And the reason why a lot of people with high functioning depression will end up dying by suicide, I'm not going to say a lot. The reason why some do is because sometimes when they do ask for help, they finally admit to themselves they need to reach out, Oftentimes medical professionals won't take them seriously. You'll see a straight A student saying they're depressed and you're thinking, yeah, you're fine. You're just having a bad day, whatever. And that's not the case. They're often overlooked by the medical professionals and their friends and family. So if someone you know who seems like they have it all together comes to you and opens up about struggles with their mental health, you really need to take them seriously because it could be life-changing, it could be life-saving. Another major risk people fall into when they are functioning well with depression is when they stop functioning so well, but they still have this mindset of, I'm fine, I don't need help. They start helping themselves. They start taking drugs, they start drinking, they start doing anything that makes them feel better. Basically, they're self-medicating. And self-medication can lead to a lot of different problems. Firstly, your illness isn't actually being taken care of. You're treating symptoms, which is mostly what treatment for mental illness is, unfortunately, at this point. But you're treating symptoms in a very reckless way. You're treating symptoms in a way that will cause other problems. And you're treating symptoms without help of a medical professional. And also, doing these things, self-medicating, can lead to further problems such as alcoholism or drug abuse, overdose, and these are all not great ways to go about it because you're just going to make yourself worse, and it's really unfortunate that a lot of people feel that that's the only thing they can turn to. So if we as society can start taking people seriously when they come forward with these thoughts, these feelings, or if we as society can even just try and look out a little more for your friends and family who you think might be suffering, but then you think, nah, they're fine. If you have just a little inkling that someone is going down a dark path or is not doing so well, reach out to them at least. Talk to them, feel it out, see if you can find out more, see if you can find out if there is a problem there or not, and encourage them to reach out more, encourage them to seek professional help, and tell them that they're not alone and there's not something wrong with them. They just need something to help them with this illness. The problem here is that people forget it's an illness and they think they don't need medication when they do, or they think they don't need therapy when they do. Meanwhile, someone with diabetes has no problem taking their medication. Someone with a leg injury has no problem going to physical therapy. But we've told ourselves that our mental health is different. Your brain is an organ in your body and it needs the care that we give to any other organ in our body. That was a bit of a ramble, but you get the gist. So back to me. I only started taking my depression seriously a few years back. It was before I got married, so quite a few years back. The last few years have flown by so fast. Anyway, going through school, I know I definitely suffered from depression, and I also did consider suicide as an option for treating it, and I luckily didn't. I was too scared, if that makes sense. But mainly I just kept telling myself, you're fine, you're just being oversensitive. Just get through this and things will get better. Get through this and things will get better. And my life did get better objectively, which was great, but that didn't change the fact that my brain didn't. And my brain didn't get better because I didn't treat it. Even though I was getting good grades in high school, good grades in elementary school, decent grades in college, it was still hard for me during all those times. I still beat myself up when I didn't get a grade as good as I wanted. Even if the grade was good, like a 79 was still considered good, but I wanted an 80 and stuff like that. Behind the scenes, I was always beating myself up over. Meanwhile, everyone just saw, oh, this girl got a 79, she's so good. And when it came to me working, I always went to work, even if I wasn't feeling that great. And if I did have to take a sick day, I would feel really guilty about it. And I'd basically have to be throwing up or just unable to move. And that's the only way I would miss work or school. And I never considered a day where I was feeling particularly depressed to be a reason to take a sick day. So I just would go and power through because I can still get out of bed physically, but that took a toll on me. I think it made things worse and it made things get bad. But now that I am seeing my doctor on a regular basis, I'm taking medication, and I've done some therapy, I'm in a much better place now. However, that doesn't change the fact that sometimes the depression fog does come over me. It usually is triggered by something. I'm actually coming out of sort of what I'll call a depressive low right now. Last week was really rough, and it was just a difficult time. I was considering talking to my doctor, and I know to make sure that I do if it really needs to happen. But I did talk to my husband. We were just very cautious with it, if that makes sense. Sorry, my dog's making noise. But yeah, anytime I get into a depressive low, I just have to really keep an eye on it, basically, like you would with any injury or illness. If you get a cold, you keep an eye on it. If it gets worse, you go to the doctor. And same thing with this. So yeah, I'm doing better now though. I've been taking my medication daily. I just look at my daughter every day, and that little smile is like an extra antidepressant right there for me. And I've come out of it just fine right now. There's a little bit of extra stress going on, but that should be done in a few days. It's a long story, but anyway, I'm rambling. So one of the reasons I really try and be open about this stuff with people in my life and now the internet is that I want people to realize these things. I want people to realize that the stigma needs to end. I want people to realize that they can get help if they think they need it. And even if you don't think you need it, but you think you have this problem, I don't know how to explain this. Basically, just if you feel like you might have depression or anxiety or any other mental illness, get help. Just reach out. Someone will help you. If you don't get help from the first person, find the next. You are worth it. You are worth it to get the help you need and deserve. And if someone can't do that for you, they're not the only person who can help you, and you can find someone who can help you. Just keep trying, keep trying. It's worth it. It is so worth it to get the help you need and go from just surviving to thriving, because that's what I was doing. I was just surviving through life, and that's not good. You only get one life, and I hate that expression because it just sends my anxiety through the roof, but you do, and you deserve to enjoy it and thrive through it and get through it without suffering. And yeah, I think that's about it for me right now. This video was a bit of a ramble, a rambly rant. It is filmed about 5 days later than I normally would have, so I'm a little blah right now, but that is why I make sure I film very ahead of time, just so I definitely have enough time to edit videos in between. Like the video that actually went live, or it's going live in 50 minutes from now because it is 10:10 on Friday, the 21st right now. That video I filmed last Monday, not this past Monday, but the Monday before. So that's how I do it, just so I make sure I give myself enough time. And that way when I do have my really hard times, I have this leeway. But it does throw me off a little bit, especially because I have to work around Cassidy's naps, who is still napping, I think. I just have to do this. She's so cute. Anyway, my next video is going to be a little bit away from the mental illness topic. It's going to be how you can support your entrepreneurial friend. That doesn't just include buying stuff from them or paying them for stuff. So people like me who run an Etsy shop or have this vlog and a blog, there are ways you can help us without spending money, because I know money's tight for a lot of people and I don't expect my friends and family to just buy stuff from me all the time. But there are so many ways you can support me and other small businesses out there that don't include it. When you're supporting your friend or family member who has a small business, you're supporting a dream, and that's beautiful. Anyway, more on that next Friday. So I will see you then. Bye! I gotta stop this waving thing. It's weird. I don't know how to end these videos. How do you end videos? I don't know.